Going on the screen. Okay, there we go. All right. If you are wondering when you should file your case to USCIS and just get it started, it is today. Now, of course, this is assuming you are legally eligible. Friends, welcome to Green Card Guys TV. I'm here to share with you reasons why you need to go ahead and get started. Okay. Now, this is my first live show actually on TikTok. So thank you for all those that followed, because I need to have apparently 1,000 people on TikTok to share information live. So here we are. This is pretty cool. All right. So anyways, regardless of platform, I'm always all about sharing information, folks. I'm an immigration lawyer in the United States, specifically in Houston, Texas. I share immigration tips so you can any red flags so you can avoid it and maybe prevent having an immigration problem in the first place. So we have that mindset in sharing these kind of information, sharing problems, because when there is an immigration problem, maybe it could require a waiver, but sometimes people are not eligible for waiver because you need qualifying relative. So of course, it's gonna keep you stuck. So in this situation, a lot of people are stuck because of just filing the case to begin with, all right, in the very first place. Some people might think, well, USCIS fees are increasing. So, just human behavior that makes people not want to file it, go to the next step. Now, again, we go live to share these tips. It'll be our pleasure to assist you from start to finish or in the middle to the finish line to get your legal status. But ultimately, regardless whether you hire a lawyer or not, you just need to file the dang case, okay? Get it going, because we anticipate that the USCIS fees will increase. I mean, I thought it would have already happened by now. How it works when the USCIS or Department of Homeland Security wants to increase fees or make any policy changes, typically it needs to go through what we call rulemaking process. This goes into the Federal Register, and there's a comment period for 30 days. And that comment period has been closed. I believe that closed around like mid-March or earlier. So they can increase it like as soon as possible, essentially. So on YouTube, I can share my screen. What our team did was create a spreadsheet, and I'm happy to answer any questions. So you can comment down below on any of these platforms. All right, so here we go. Let me make my screen a little larger. Okay, so here on, it's going to be nuts, y'all. So anyways, I'm just sharing my screen on YouTube and Facebook group here. The government rule, the Federal Register, by the way, is quite long. I can tell you, we marked the page on where the fee proposal is page 413. Page 413 is where the fee. Imagine, yeah, it's pretty nuts. It's pretty long. So anyway, let's say, for example, you want to apply for your spouse. You want to apply for your child under 21. Let's say it could be a stepchild, or you're filing for your U.S. citizen. Want to file for your parent. That is the I-130. Okay, this is immediate relative. You can file for many other family relationships, but the fee right now is $535, and it's going to increase to $820. So you can see, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can see my screen here. If you're on TikTok or something, or Instagram, you want to see this, you go to greencardguys.tv to get there faster. I'm just sharing high level. I've highlighted in yellow the just outrageous increase on some of these. But okay, so petition is one. If you're in the United States and you're eligible to adjust status, meaning you're here in the United States, default is that you have non-immigrant status, so you can stay here. Unless, you're under what we call immediate relative classification, then generally speaking, you can still have adjust your status in the United States without any current status. Okay. So with all that said, I always give all these disclaimers. So it just makes it long-winded. But anyway, long story short, the fee is increasing from $12.25 to $15.40. Okay. So to some people, the fee increases don't matter. Okay. But either way, my point here is that if you're currently eligible, don't wait. Don't wait to file. Because, first of all, we are post pandemic, right? Whether you agree with the vaccine or not, I'll talk about that in a second. But whether you agree with what happened in the United States about COVID or whatnot, how, protection, safety measures, vaccine measures, you don't want to delay. If the pandemic taught us anything, is that we have to take action. Don't delay, because even during the pandemic, as you can imagine, USCIS and Department of State, the consulates and embassies abroad are hella slow. Because they're hella slow, you need to get your case moving. File your case as soon as possible. And by the way, folks, if you're on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, please share our channel so that more people understand these things, that some people get stuck. Some people, a lot of people get stuck. We get a lot of phone calls. So most people are like, John, we did this, we filed this. What is the next step? I'm thinking we can't do anything. That's what they tell me. That's what they tell our premier attorneys, our associate attorneys. So I tell them, look, this is why you need to do this, XYZ. Okay. Hopefully y'all can hear me on TikTok. This is my first time going live, so I'm not sure how this works. Sounds like y'all can. Hopefully I don't have to click anything special here. Okay, so the next form that's increasing, let's say you have DACA, okay? You have DACA and you can apply, renew for the work permit. I think DACA, by the way, is supposed to already have a decision from Supreme Court, or they had the case reviewed by Supreme Court earlier this year. So any case Supreme Court heard last year, they're going to be issued, by the way, this summer, this month. It's supposed to be. So keep that in mind. If you're interested in anything related to that, please contact us. Okay. I think I can say my number live, 720-740-4247. Apparently on TikTok, I'm not supposed to like showcase it or something. So to be mindful of that. But anyway, if you have DACA, about the fees, and you paid $495 before for the work permit, but now it's going to be $650. Pretty soon it's going to be $650. Okay. And so the government is trying to say, look, Congress does not fund us. They don't fund USCIS. So, especially when it was during Trump administration, they were telling people that they can't process these cases because they don't have enough people working. And to get more people working, they need more money. So what are they going to do? They're going to push on. They want the fees from the applicants, from yourselves. So if you're currently eligible, don't wait on it, okay? Because otherwise, by the time you wait, the fees will probably increase. That's just generally what happens. So for those who are applying through a company, for example, like or yourself, let's say like O Visa, it's gonna. This is a double. Yeah, it's more than double. $460 is the filing fee for petition, but now it's going up. Okay, it's going up to $1055. Now for L1 visa, this is a visa for executive or managers who work for a company abroad for at least a year, or someone has specialized knowledge, let's say like engineering background. That fee is going from $460 to $1385. Hell of a lot, okay? By the way, folks, if you have any questions, please comment down below, and I will definitely try my best to answer those questions, okay? Now let's see here. So why would we need to do that, right? Other than the obvious situation that the fees will increase, it can, especially if you want to hire a lawyer, you want to file it sooner because to take advantage of this, that the fees are lower currently. All right. So let me see here. What else I want to share with you on this fee increase? Oh boy. If you're an EB5 investor, I don't know why, but I just feeling like if you're EB5, you're probably not going to be on these social media channels. I don't know. But okay, if you wanted to file for it's going to be pretty crazy. EB5, folks, okay? That's going to be a hefty fee there. if you're a standalone investor and you're not filing for the regional center, right now it's 3,675. It's going to go up to minimum 11,000, which honestly, it makes sense to increase it because look, if someone on a government perspective, but if someone is going to, invest at least now is I believe 1.2 million. Okay. Roughly about that to do it themselves, not their regional center. That's a lot of money, right? So the government's thinking, why not get a piece of it? Makes sense. So yeah, that's another reason why you want to file this ASAP. File your application soon. Yeah, I mean, some people, it's actually interesting, a lot of people think, why, especially folks, the people who are conservatives, we all love them conservative folks right now, but not in Florida, for sure, not in Florida. But they don't understand. They say, for example, I've heard things like, why don't they as an immigrants, why don't they file an application? Why don't they just go ahead and get their status? Well, obviously, if they're eligible, that'd be great. Now, not everyone's eligible for something, especially when they've overstayed their visa or they entered America without a visa and they're not married to a U.S. citizen. Obviously, if they were married to a U.S. citizen, they would just go ahead file their status. Now, someone called the other day, and they couldn't file their application because I think one of y'all commented about this. That the person, it's someone's friend, that they were married. That friend was married to a U.S. citizen, but the husband has not filed any application for that spouse, and it's been 3 years. Okay, that's a little strange to me, to be honest. I mean, I know we have a lot of clients actually that have been married for a long time, let's say 5+ years, and things happen, life happens. But if nothing's happening in that marriage, like maybe no children, no, nothing traumatic, like no one passed away, those kind of events are like going to hold you up from filing, right? You're going to be focused on that. Or maybe you're going through school, you're not focused on an immigration case. But look, it's been 3 years. Something might be a little strange, right? So it is not common. It's not, or let me put it this way. It is common to hear about a situation where there's psychological abuse. It doesn't have to be physical abuse to file for VAWA. But if someone is dangling like a legal carrot, basically, of legal status, like, hey, I'm going to file for you if you do XYZ for me. I don't know. I don't want to minimize anything, but let's say that person's a stay-at-home person, like spouse, and doesn't have a job. The person could think, well, then that person, my spouse, is going to depend on me as a U.S. citizen because I'm the breadwinner. You can say that can be considered psychological abuse. Now, of course, you have to be forthcoming and talk to us about it because we're not going to make up information for you. But that could be, you could be eligible to file for something called VAWA, Violence Against Women Act. And no, it's not just for women. It's also for men, gender neutral. That's a hot topic these days about gender identity. I wish everyone the best about that topic, but what's it called? Yeah, you definitely want to, really think about this. Like for this, this is a good reason to share our channel because there are folks that think it's normal, that could think, okay, well, yeah, he or she said they're going to file for me, so I'm just going to chill out. I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to bug them. Or whenever I talk about it with him or her, they keep saying the same thing, and that should not be normal. It's common, unfortunately, but that should not be normal. So if you think you have a friend in that kind of situation, I know most people don't want to pry into personal details of your friend, but this could help them get out of this cycle, a violent cycle, whether it's physical or emotional, psychological, however you want to describe it. Help your friend get to essentially the next step in life. And it's one of those situations, maybe at the time of marriage, or even before that, dating, everything was great, but then you get married a couple years in, and especially after the pandemic, things start to turn not that good, right? It gets very disturbing. And yeah, I've had several pro bono cases before, where I helped for the divorce and also for the immigration court case for VAWA cancellation removal. And I recall when I had to tell the person, look, this could take a lot of work on the legal side. And I knew back then I was cognizant of the cycle of violence. So to not waste her time to file certain applications and not waste, to be honest, our time on the legal team, I had to tell the person, the client at the time, and I feel bad for saying this, but someone has got to tell them, look, if we file this application, you have to be committed because we're going to go take the next step for this VAWA or this VAWA cancellation removal and this divorce. So you have to take action. Okay? Don't wait on it. Don't go back to your abusive spouse. And I know it's strange. I posted a video on TikTok the other day about, or I guess you call it repost, about this husband or a significant other. They're like a fast food restaurant. And I mean, assuming nothing happened at the restaurant, but the wife had called 911 to get police out there because that's where she felt the most safe, right? She was out of the house and you could tell just the way that guy was behaving that something was wrong, right? So even though nothing was wrong at the moment where police were called, that's okay. You can still call police. It doesn't have to be only in the moment at the time of the abusive incident or something like that, okay? It can be later. Now, if you're saying like months later, the police are going to probably think this is something strange. So you want to really be able to explain it. But if it's going to be months later, then at that point, you might as well report it in person at the police department or your other local law enforcement, like sheriff or something like that. Every state and local area is different. May call it law enforcement a little bit differently, but hopefully that gives you an idea. Essentially, don't give up. Okay, there are options for you. Okay, so and knowing that because the fees are increasing. Okay, so we have a question here on Instagram. If the fees increase, does the process will be faster? No, it's not faster. It is not faster. I wish that were the case, but it certainly is not faster. Now they have something called premium processing. Okay, for typically for only employment-based cases or employment-based petitions, you can file premium processing, but it's a strategy call. Well, first of all, premium processing, think of it like the Disney Pass. They used to call it Rapid Pass, something like that. But now I think they call it Genie Plus, something. I don't know why they call it that. But anyways, they do like a rapid pass. You essentially get your decision or request for evidence in 15 business days. So roughly speaking, that could be 3 weeks, which by the way, success story we did share. We did share this on social media, I think maybe yesterday or today, of a client who started a trucking business and we just got his e-visa approved, E2 visa. Now, please note that when I say visa, e-visa, doesn't mean you actually get the visa first. It's going to be the petition approval notice with USCIS, and then later you have to schedule an interview for the actual visa. Okay, to get that, put that in your passport. 2 separate steps. We've only completed step 1 because that is obviously the most important. You got to get that approved first. And that was approved in 8 business days, or maybe 8 days in general. Yeah, eight total calendar days. That's pretty fast. So really, that's about only 1 week if you think about it in terms of weekdays that the government is working. So it's pretty good, pretty fast, but it does cost a bit more money. You got to front the money. It's $2,500 generally for most applications for employment based. The extra fee. Okay, so want to go back to which, by the way, folks. So this is not available for family based cases, petitions, applications. Unfortunately, it is not available for adjustment of status, the 485. That would probably string them in terms of really crush the USCIS, excuse me, USCIS capacity, really hold their hands tight. Now, even though the 2023 trend right now is for marriage cases that in the United States, adjustment of status, they are getting approved much more quickly. Before the pandemic, I would say average 12 months, our case experience and among my colleagues as well. During the pandemic, it's slightly longer, but we're no longer pandemic. It's 2023. President Bill, why did I say Bill? I meant Biden, Joe Biden. How can I forget his name? President Joe Biden. This is one of the ways under his administration they're getting cases faster. Okay. So getting cases approved faster without an interview. Now, I am sharing this, but that doesn't mean, disclaimer here, that doesn't mean that your case, even if you're a marriage case, that yours will be approved without a interview. But if you have an interview, it's okay. Our team trains or prepares our clients, so you know exactly what's going to happen potentially. But in some scenarios, maybe like you have prior marriage, and I don't want to say it looked a little shady, but maybe you filed an application for residency based on prior marriage as well. Most likely, your interview is not going to be waived. Now, if you just have prior marriage in general, but no prior immigration application, maybe it's going to be waived. Okay, but of course. So with that being said, don't mess around, folks. Don't delay your decision to file your case. Again, with or without a lawyer, you just need to file it. Now, of course, make sure you're eligible. And so here, you may not know this, but if you're new to our channel, we do offer consultation, strategy session at no cost to you for 15 minutes. We're pretty efficient, okay? Now, if you wonder like why only 15 minutes, it's free. First of all, it's no cost to you. Doesn't hurt. Even if you have an attorney now, I don't like to step on any attorney's toes. Another attorney could be watching this. But look, a lot of people call us anyway because their current attorney or the prior attorney was non-responsive, is what we call it. They don't respond to calls. And look, if they didn't call you back and it's been a week, maybe call again or email. Attorneys prefer emails than phone calls. At least for us, we have a calendar link that we have in the bottom of our signature box so that you can self-schedule an appointment. So everything's structured in a sense. Like that's how it gets us, honestly, us thrown off a little behind the scenes. We get thrown off on our schedule because, hey, look, with us, we want to absolutely talk with clients and we want to talk to them the same day they call in. But realistically, that's just not possible. So that's why we tell people we have one email address. So whether you're trying to look for an associate, me, or one of our paralegals, it's just one email address. So if someone's on vacation, out sick, you don't have to chase us. We're right there. Okay. But of course, if you want to have a meeting, like a video call like this, for example, you can self-schedule. You don't even have to call in to ask. I find it really bizarre that attorneys, when they're trying to be efficient, they force people to call in essentially to schedule an appointment. It's really weird to me, but it just wastes more time for everyone involved. Let's see here. So I want to make sure I didn't miss a question here. Okay, cool. So we do offer that. The best way to access, to be qualified, pre-qualified by our CARES team, when you fill out the form, okay, you go to greencardguys.com, go to contact us, or you can go to freevisaquiz.com. That's another way to answer some questions. Our team, one of our CARES team specialists, will call you within 24 hours of a business day. We definitely don't work on Sundays, some hours on Saturday, but not everyone, just a couple of team members on Saturday. They will call you back in 24 hours, okay, or less, and try to pre-qualify you, see if you qualify for a free 15 minutes. Okay, it's not, it used to be automatic for everyone. It's not anymore just because we don't have as much time, unfortunately. So anyways, I'll hopefully give you a better idea. What else can I share with you? Okay, so since this is the first time I am on TikTok, I do want to share that if you have a case on file with USCIS, or whether you're waiting for an interview, you're waiting for your visa to be issued, or let's say you filed a 485, you had the interview, and you're still waiting for a decision. We have many success stories, fortunately, where people have unfortunately had to wait at least 30 years. This is across the country. It's not just like one particular city, one particular USCIS office. Unfortunately, USCIS and the embassy, consulates, are the offices working there. Bless their heart. They're trying their best. But just like any company, in a sense, you have to be organized. You have to have structure. So it's kind of strange. You could ask my team members, like, how often does John and the leadership train you? It's like literally every day. It's kind of nuts. I always find like there's always a new policy, internal policy, office policy to update, and really for efficiency to be organized. We don't want any communication to be dropped on accident. Okay, and to make sure that at the end of the day, it follows our mission to help people live and work in America legally. Okay, yes, you might be here in America illegally or without status, but if you're eligible, we're happy to help you. One example, we had a call earlier today about T visa. That is a possible pathway for someone who has been. T visa is short for trafficking visa. You can think of like, oh, coyotes being you got smuggled in. But the most common situation that's very unfortunate actually is people not being paid their wages. So it is modern day slavery. Okay, T visa. So you want to consider that. Okay, and most people they don't know that. Of course, when they call into our office, maybe they heard about like a visa for victims in general, like abuse, like VAWA or U visa, victim of a crime. But most people don't think of modern day slavery. And for example, this particular person, this I of course won't share details, right? It's confidential, but the person worked for this family for many years. Okay, so you want to, if you're in this kind of similar situation, you want to document, write it down, notate how much we're supposed to get paid. And this is one of those scenarios that I believe, like a person could tell you, yeah, here's your payment for the past, for like 1 month. But you realize, well, that's only 1 month. It's been 3 months since you last paid me. So you owe me 3 months worth of wages. It is bizarre what families, people can, not just families, companies think they can get away with. Okay. So, what's another scenario? It happens with companies too. It happened with someone, for example, they here on an H-1B temporary visa. They came from a country of nationality, and they had been working at least 3 months by that time on the H-1B. And they start to realize, I'm pretty sure this company's not going to pay me, even though they keep telling me that they're going to pay me. So, fortunately, this person, this applicant, H-1B visa holder, was cognizant to start looking for other jobs. Okay, and we call that ported, to transfer the visa to another company. And the thing is that just because you transfer the company, that's great, but don't think that there's no way to still claim that money from the past. And I can tell you the country of nationality. Let me just say, if it was China or India, the wait time for green card through a company, let's say like the second company is willing to sponsor for residency, you want to. Our strategy is, look, if you're eligible, look, there's by the state. I know in Texas, you can file for. There's a law called like Payday Act, but I'm sure every state has something similar where you can get your money back. But there's also a federal level you can get your money back or claim your money. File a EEOC charge, I believe is what you call it. I don't handle that stuff. Another attorney handles that. We refer out for that. But this strategy, okay? You want to consider if you're eligible, even because you might think, well, T visa, I don't know if I want to do that, right? But especially if you're from India or China, the wait time after you file a certain application, even after you get a petition approved, you have to wait for the visa bulletin, and it's a couple years wait time. I believe India is the one that's like 2012, something ridiculous. So with T visa, to make a long explanation very short as possible, I talk too much, but it's only valid for 3 years. It's valid for 4 years, okay, T visa. But after the third year, you can file to become a resident. Okay, you don't want to wait on that. All right, you could even file sooner if you have certain documentation. Um, let's see. So that kind of give you an idea on that. Because it's 3 years, it's going to be a shorter time frame than H-1B or a perm for EB. So that kind of because EB again, you have to wait a long time if you're from China or India. So you might want to consider T visa. So that's one example to have a strategy session with our team, because you might think, yeah, it's probably a good idea, and you talk to a lawyer in general, but you still might not understand why. So that's why I'm sure ideas, scenarios like this, so you could realize, okay, well, there is actually maybe a way to get the status sooner. All right. So that's the theme of today. Maybe almost every live show. Don't wait. Take action. Okay. Hey, Wow Homes DFW. I do need to reach out to you. I know my team's been responding to you, so thank you for your patience. I will reach out to you separately. Okay, Wow Homes DFW. Check him out. He's on Instagram, by the way. He's a realtor or broker. Um, so yeah, if you're looking, I know some folks are looking to move to Texas. Now, if you're from California, hold your horses. But if you're a foreign national and outside America, yeah, Texas is what we call open for business. But Wow Homes DFW on Insta. This is how many months or years is EB3 skilled workers wait time for Africa? Which country is that? Nigeria you're asking about? Let's see. Let me go to the visa bulletin real quick. Okay. Hey, thanks for the hearts. I appreciate it. But yeah, in addition to hearts, love the hearts. But if you don't mind, bookmark our video or channel, give it a follow, and share it. Click share. Okay. All right. So let's see. All right. Wow Homes DFW. I am sharing my screen on Facebook and YouTube. I'm not able to do that on Instagram, but if you're asking about EB3, and I think the team told me before that you had questions about folks in Nigeria. So let me go down there. So it's many steps, right? So one of the, we talk about petition in general, but there's many steps before a petition. But assuming all those steps have been completed, okay, we're now looking at EB3. Let's say, well, anyway, if it's not China, India, Mexico, or Philippines, and it's on that column, all chargeable areas, except the other ones are listed. They're working on cases where the petition was on file. The priority date, is June 1st, 2022. Okay, June 1st, 2022. So what that means is that it's not current, first of all, but you can only proceed to the next step if your prior date is June 1st, 2022 or earlier. Excuse me. So next step, meaning be consular processing if you're abroad, or if you're in the United States with non-immigrant visa, valid visa, then you can get a file for 485 now. Now, if it shows current, like it does for EB1, then you can file for that next step, okay, the 485, for example, if you're in the United States with non-immigrant visa status. Okay, folks, let's see. Now, if you're interested, if this resonated with you to some extent, give us a call, okay? Again, you might not realize why it could be important to call us. It's okay. Sometimes it gets a little awkward. Us attorneys always ask at the very end, are there any more questions? We want to make sure you're the one spending time. We're honored that you consider us for our services. Okay, you might not need our team actually. With the advice we share with you, you might not need us. That's a great thing about our consultation at no cost to you. Now, of course, if you want more time, you want more than 15 minutes, then the next default is 30 minutes. With me is 199. Now, typically, of course, if it's something else, if it's something like EB5, typically it's 499. Right? Because it just takes a lot more time to explain these kind of scenarios, because most people are not familiar with all the details of EB5. So that's why, anyway, that costs more cost. Now, if you're looking for assistance on other things like asylum, we don't assist with that. We refer out. In some cases, we do refer out, but you can give us a call. We can give you contact information so we can easily share that with you. Now, if you're wondering how to get more information, but you're a little bit shy to call us, that's okay. Take your time. But in the meantime, go to greencardguys.com, our main website, and scroll down below and download your free guide, no cost to you. It contains answers to common questions and also estimated, key word there, estimated step by step. All right. Now, but of course, at the end of the day, don't rely only on that as legal advice. You still need to call in, get a consultation with us so you can make sure that before you file it, that you're going to be on track. Okay. Now, folks, thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate it. Again, if you enjoyed the value from our show, please go to reviewtinglaw.com. We greatly appreciate any feedback. And we do have a Facebook group that's called tinglawclub.com. Join the club, folks. Okay, we're going to share more information. Our marketing team, we have a lot of information to share, as you can imagine. If I could go live for like 2 hours and I don't lose my voice, I would do it. But clients won't be happy. I need to get working. All right, I need to hire more attorneys, and we actually have several candidates have an interview this week. So, by the way, if you're an attorney and you want to practice immigration law, honestly, we prefer someone who has experience right now. But if you're interested in immigration law, contact us. Okay, folks, don't be shy. We do have a career page on our website, greencardguys.com. We're looking for problem solvers. Okay, as you can tell from our live shows, we need people who are problem solvers because our clients depend on that, of course. All right, folks, thank you so much. And I wish you a wonderful day and see you tomorrow. Take care.